on a pitch that is seeming to be very, very difficult to understand and decipher. Pakistan saw runs from the top, Babar Azam and the lower order, and that's how they reached 282 for 7 in their 50 overs. Remember, 4 spinners in that Afghanistan lineup. Naveen ul Haq, the only proper pacer really. That apart, Noor Ahmed, who was brought into this lineup, was the most effective, 3 for 49 of his 10. Naveen ul Haq picking up a couple of wickets, a touch expensive, giving away 52 of 7. Mohammad Nabi kept things tight, 1 for only 31 in his 10. Lower order fireworks from Iftikhar Ahmed helped as well. Abdullah Shafique up top, scoring yet another half century in this World Cup, growing in reputation. Babar Azam once again among the rungs, scoring 74 of 92. Unfortunate to have not carried on to hit 100, but that's where it is, 282 on the board. Cricbuzz Live, it is Joy Bhattacharjya and Zaheer Khan in the house. This innings was a bit strange in that it was very up and down, and I think most people who were watching from a distance were struggling to read what this pitch is all about.
No, I think it was a typical Chennai pitch. That's how the innings usually progress. With a new ball, you got to be positive, aggressive, look to get as many as possible. That's what we've seen. After that, in the middle overs, the run rate is going to go down. The spinners will make the play. I think the great thing for Pakistan today is not giving anything to Rashid. Yeah. That was the crucial battle, and Pakistan today won that battle. If you look at the batting card, you'll see 50-run partnerships was 4 in number, I think.
Yeah, well, a couple of them.
So that's something which really gave them that strength. There are a couple of 40-run partnership, couple of 4 50-run partnerships. So that shows that it was a very steady effort from Pakistan batters, which got them to a total which is looking very good on this pitch. The last 10 overs also, they've managed to capitalize very well. They scored about 90 runs in that passage of play. So this is a typical Chennai pitch, how we see the innings progression. You got to keep wickets in hand. Whoever is in needs to go on to get big runs. I think that anchor role was played by Babar today. Missed on 100, was a good innings. But on the whole, I think it was a decent batting effort from Pakistan from the word go.
Yes, recovery was a problem area for Pakistan with the bad batting first, especially. We all remember what happened against India. They were going pretty well at 152 for 2, and then the collapse. Joy, the collapse didn't happen today. Questions were being asked by Noor Ahmed. Nabi bowled really well, but runs from the lower order, a partnership of 73 of 45 between Shadab Khan and Iftikhar, really ensured that Pakistan don't lose their way in this innings.
No, absolutely. And I think when the point that Zach exactly made, that they did not allow wickets to fall in bunches ever in this innings. They made sure that everyone got a stand. And it was a very testing period, just before that. And you look at this, 5.6, they scored at 56 up front, those 56 in the first 10, and which was important for them because after that, once Rashid and Noor Ahmed came, it was difficult going. And then that 5.2, you see, actually, that's a bit of a, it's actually about 3.5, and then towards the end of the 35th to 40th over, they started accelerating again. And towards the end, they took full advantage. I think Iftikhar and Shadab played very well. But this is the template on this kind of ground, that somebody plays a big innings up front. As he said, Babar was a person, just 4 fours. I mean, he hit that 1-6 right at the end and then tried to hit another 6 and got out. But that's what I'm saying, that they played, the one great thing they did was they played the ground for what it was. They knew this is our period, this is in trouble. Score fast up front, score fast at the end. The middle, the spinners are just going to take the game out. And I think they've got 30 too many right now. I mean, that's my point. I feel that really on a pitch like this to get 282, 283, it's a big total.
Yes, Afghanistan don't really like to chase. They beat England in that grand fashion, and from there on, another weakness was exposed. Jonathan Trott has had a few tough decisions to make. They came into this game with that extra spinner. In hindsight, when you look back, was that the right call?
I think it was decent effort with the ball. It's just some good batting which they were bowling against. It looked like maybe Naveen ul Haq should have bowled 10 overs. Mujib had a little off day. So on the whole, if you look at that bowling effort, that Rashid taking couple of wickets maybe would have changed things for them. Yep. Because you always were looking at the game that if Pakistan loses 1 or 2 wickets more, it would have been a different game. Yeah. Iftikhar and Shadab batted very well at the back end of the innings, but till that point, if you see when Saud Shakil got out, It was not easy going for Pakistan at that stage. And that was the phase of 21st to 30 over mark, So they lost 2 wickets. They had to slow down. After that, that one phase where actually Babar batted nicely and just carried things along was the important phase of this game where Afghanistan had that chance. But they couldn't really get the grip on the game there.
Yes, from 163 for 4, Babar took them forward, and when his wicket fall, they were at 206. Now, Babar Azam has been in the news. Pakistani fans have been feeling extremely uneasy, and I suppose rightly so, because he's their premier batter and they expected big match-winning runs from him. Today, it was a very cautious half-century, but they'll take it given where they ended. Those 74 runs he scored are worth their weight in gold.
Absolutely. He ran a lot, he placed the ball a lot. This is not the kind of field. And you have, on a pitch which is slow, you have 3 rampant spinners out there. You have Noor Ahmed. So he's faced mostly that period of play when Noor Ahmed, Rashid, Nabi, all of them are bowling extremely well. And for that to go at 80 and to score the number of runs that he did was absolutely fantastic. Again, we are talking about this 163 for 4. If Babar is gone there, 163 for 5, 6, and the spinners have a chance to go at Ifti and all, things could have been very different. This could have been a 225, 230.
Yep.
So Babar held them, took them to 205. By the time he gets out, it's just 7, 8 overs. Ideal time for somebody like Ifti and Shadab Khan to take over. And they did a really good job in the end. 9.1 in the last 10 overs. They made it count. Interesting. Again, you look at that bowling card. Naveen, just 7 overs. Mujib, just 8 overs. And what has happened as a result is because they were off colour, they had to bowl Omarzai.
Yeah.
And Omarzai has gone for 10 in his 5 overs.
One expensive over completely.
So 5 overs, 50 runs. So moment your top bowlers have not delivered for you, Pakistan has taken toll of that 6th bowler. They've really taken toll of him.
Babar, 74 of 92. Safe to say, captain's innings, because clearly big hitting wasn't that easy, especially in the middle overs when the spinners were on top.
Well, when you're looking at ODI format, those top 3 batters are so crucial for any team. Any team who's having good numbers with the top 3 batters, you'll see that team doing well or setting that strong platform. Babar have been a little patchy with his form. So this venue, looking at the pitch conditions, looking at how the attack was today, wickets falling at the other end, someone needed to just absorb that pressure and keep the scoreboard ticking. Yeah. And that's what Babar did. He got through the tough phase. Could have been a scenario where the 100 was there for taking, but he was trying to be aggressor. He was trying to take more responsibility and trying to play those big shots. Lost his wicket, but I think he will be very satisfied the way he has gone on doing his business today, getting the team to a total where they can definitely have a percentage in their favour right now at the halfway mark.
Yes, Babar Azam got out in that 42nd over when they were 206 for 4. So clearly lost his wicket in trying to up the ante.
Absolutely. And he didn't play selfishly at all. He went for it. He had to do. And remember, this was very high quality spin bowling, because we talk about Rashid and Noor. I thought the bowler of the day today for me was Nabi. Nabi bowled absolutely brilliantly, flight variation on a pitch where there's a little bit of turn and offer. Nabi is a brilliant, absolutely brilliant bowler. And playing those 3 in the middle overs was not easy at all.
Well, it was that partnership between Shadab Khan and Iftikhar Ahmed right towards the end, 73 or 45, that allowed Pakistan to go up to 282 for 7. That wouldn't have been possible had Babar not done what he did. Is it safe to say that?
Yeah, see, that's how the game goes, right? It's debatable that when Shadab came into bat, Iftikhar should have came into bat at that stage, because you look at the number of balls which Shadab has faced, and you look at the tempo which he batted with. If the same number of deliveries were faced by Iftikhar, he would have been on 60, 70 runs. So that would have added maybe 10, 20 runs to this total. But Pakistan were thinking otherwise, just because their campaign has been going this way. They wanted to protect Babar also at that stage by sending Shadab and tell him that, okay, you be free. Yeah. And also they were looking at putting that responsibility on Iftikhar to make sure that their innings is come to a good end. So it's that kind of a campaign also for Pakistan, little tentative, little defensive. But today it worked out. Yeah. So I think Shadab going there gave Babar also a little bit of hope that, okay, I don't have to be the aggressor. He still went for it. That's a different story. But I think the thought process which we were seeing at that stage in the match was to give Babar that comfort also and sending Shadab to be aggressive.
Yes, well, Babar Azam, the captain, was part of three big partnerships. One 54 with Shafique, 43 each with Saud Shakil, as well as Shadab Khan. However, the foundation of these 282 runs was laid by Abdullah Shafique, 23 years old, 58 of 75, 5 fours and 2 sixes, another half century. It's a message to the selectors and the coach and the captain saying, I'm here and you looked at me a bit too late. Of course, Fakhar Zaman is the bigger name, more pedigreed, but this guy has done his chances no harm at all.
Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. I mean, the shot that he hit, the six that he hit of Mujib, class player, looks very good while playing, looks very composed. As we were saying in the middle, he's a different player from Fakhar, because Fakhar is a less conventional player. He has the cover drive. He has all the conventional shots, and he and Mimran are both people who stay on the pitch and they look good while doing it. Elegant players. They are not bludgeoners of the ball. They're not hitters of the ball. They're caressers of the ball. And he looks good. And I think this partnership really, it set a base. I feel, look at the way he dominated strike also. Up front, he was seeing the ball well. He dominated strike, 39 balls. Imamul Haq just faced 22 in that period. And I think he set the foundation really. He was a person who was looking comfortable up front, because even Mujib up front is not somebody you're used to. Most teams haven't seen, don't face a spinner up front. And I think he played him beautifully.
He looked like a different batter after that power play. They were 56 for no loss at the end of 10. First delivery of the 11th, lost his partner, and then seemed to play a very different kind of inning. So clearly, what's the impression you get when you see someone like Abdullah Shafique do his thing on the biggest stage?
Well, he's a correct player. That's what Joyda was trying to say. Fakhar is someone who has been a little unorthodox, a little over aggressive, will look to play big shots. But Abdullah Shafique is very conventional opener with that regard. I liked his approach. I think today also, if you see the short pitch balls, he was going after that. So he was very clear with the options he's going to go for. Also, once he was set and Babar came into bat, he was the one who was taking more responsibility. Just about understanding of how the game is unfolding, knowing that the captain is not amongst the runs. So once he's in, he has to make the play. So he was showing those good signs for a complete batter. He scored 100 also in the tournament, so that definitely is going to give him a lot of confidence. But the worry which Pakistan had with the opening they were getting into the tournament, that seems to have been taken care by this lad for sure, who has done consistently well right now in whatever short time he has played in this tournament.
Yep, Imamul Haq getting out to a short delivery now. He could be in focus as the tournament progresses for Pakistan, but at least this is one element in their performance that is delivering consistently, the opening partnership.
And Imamul Haq, his coach will look at him and say that this is the third time you've got out in this tournament trying to pull the ball. And somehow he's not keeping that stroke, the crossbat stroke on the ground. He's just hitting it in the air. And whether it's back of square or in front, he keeps getting out in that. So there's somebody who's got, it's clearly something that they need to work on. But I mean, he's a very, very good batsman, so he'll come back. And I think today Pakistan have done enough to ensure that this match is definitely in their favour.
Right, Abdullah Shafique, this new star on the horizon for Pakistan, got out in the 23rd over, I think it was. In came Mohammad Rizwan, and he seemed to be batting with a certain predetermined template. He was so keen on playing that slog sweep. Took six deliveries to get off the mark. Got off the mark with a 6, which was off a slog sweep. But did he play one sweep too many?
Well, I think this is the most challenging pitch with that regard. You can't consistently look to dominate the spinners. I think it was his plan of backing his strengths rather than looking at the conditions. But the conditions were not suited to consistently play that shot. You've seen with Abdullah Shafique also, he got out to the shot which was the sweep shot, and for a batter, and especially when Noor was bowling way outside off stump, to keep it down, keep it low, it's not going to be easy if you're consistently playing that shot. So yeah, I think it was one shot too many to lose his wicket.
Noor Ahmed got his wicket. Noor Ahmed clearly the star of this bowling lineup. the most effective, picked up the most wickets as well. This bowling card will tell you what he did alongside his other bowling partners. Mohammad Nabi, very, very economical. But on his World Cup, ODI World Cup debut, Joy, he will happily take 49 for 3. They were just not able to read Noor Ahmed. Over the wicket, around the wicket, they had no idea.
No, I think that's the thing with him, that they were not reading him off the hand, definitely. And therefore, and because he has that particular angle where he brings it back to you, and he has a good googly, they didn't know how to play him. So somebody like a Rizwan, for example, was trying to sweep him off his length, saying, whatever you pitch, I'm going to keep sweeping.
Yeah.
And obviously, what he did was push it further and further outside off, where the chances of, when you're trying to hit like that, the chances of you top-edging something is always going to happen.
Yep.
So I think that's the thing. I felt Babar played him very watchfully.
Yeah.
And he needed to, because Babar felt that at that point in time, trying to attack him and give away too many wickets doesn't make too much sense.
Yep.
So I think he played him very sensibly. But that period of play, even when we talk about Rashid, they did not allow that period of play. They dominated.
Yeah.
And it was important for Pakistan to lose the least amount of wickets in that period, more than anything else.
Yes, got the wickets of Abdullah Shafique, followed by Rizwan trying to play that shot from outside the off stump, and then got the captain Babar as well. So someone who was waiting for that big opportunity. The moment they bring him in, he was also helped by the fact that the other partners, other bowling partners, were keeping it tight. And when Pakistan went after him, he sort of took those wickets.
Well, you look at the matchup also, and I think one of the reasons why Afghanistan must have made this decision was because of Kuldeep also and how he bowled against Pakistan. So the Chinaman or the unorthodox left arm spinner is someone who is not easily readily available for many. So you have to make that small little adjustment also. Is a different style of bowler to Kuldeep, but that angle, the awkward angle which you create, he can go around the wicket and the release of the ball. It's not something which you practice quite a lot. So maybe that also is an advantage getting into the game like this. Noor will be very happy. We've been talking about it. Afghanistan maybe looking at different options. They were not able to squeeze that place in. They've got the opportunity, gone ahead with that. He's delivered. He's got wickets. So I think that gives them another option going forward in the tournament.
Afghani fans might be wondering why they didn't play him earlier in the tournament.
Yeah, but I mean, if you look at that team, you have to wonder
Where do they fit
who
him
leave
in?
out? And because remember, I mean, the only replaceable spin in that sense is Nabi, and Nabi bats also. Nabi is, he gives them so much more.
Yep.
You're not going to replace Rashid. Mujib bowls you up front as well. So Mujib can bowl up front, he can bowl the death. So that's why they were limited with that choice. This is a brave choice. It came off, but I still feel overall, the battle was won by Noor Ahmed, but the war was won by Pakistan, I feel.
And he was helped by Rashid Khan, 10 overs, no wickets for 41. How do you look at that spell? Was it because Pakistan were giving him a lot of respect?
To Rashid?
Yep.
I think that was the plan. When you're looking at the 4 spin bowling attack, okay, how are you going to go about getting those runs? So going hard with the new ball was one option, which they did, 15 over mark. If you look at the score, it was 78 runs around that time, going at 5 runs per over, just over that. And then they tried to keep the tempo going till about 40 overs. Then there and there, about around 35 over mark also, they were just below 5 runs per over. So that was the template, and not giving Rashid the wicket. So even if you don't get runs, see, it's a game where at times you can bat at 3 runs, 3.5 runs per over without giving wicket to a certain bowler. You've seen that with Santner also yesterday. He was bowling well, so Indian team just made sure that he's not taking wickets on wickets in bunches in that particular spell. I think that was the approach by Pakistan, and then they did it successfully.
Much like the IPL, it's the same thing, isn't it? I mean, in the IPL as well, teams don't seem to be too keen to take chances against Rashid, and it helps the other 16 overs.
Yeah, also Rashid in IPL is even more difficult because there's the reason you need to score even faster in the IPL, therefore you need to attack him even more, which is why he's an even better T20 bowler than an ODI bowler. But they had the opportunity, and Rashid's point is that you don't like Rashid getting his tail up. Once Rashid gets a wicket, he gets on top of you,
Yeah.
So if you deny him that wicket, he's not going to dominate you the way he does. He gets faster, and like if you see Jadeja and Rashid both do that, the moment they get a wicket, they try to come in as fast as possible as, trying to finish overs, rush the batsmen, make them, unsettle them. And I think they just said, we are not going to allow him to get on top of us, play him out, there's enough power in the end. And they also knew that there was one seamer shot. That means, towards the end, they will struggle. In the death overs, they knew that Afghanistan will struggle.
Yes, it was a great outing for the Afghanistani spinners. Earlier today, we received the sad news of the passing away of one of Indian cricket's greatest ever. Part of the iconic quartet of spin bowlers that showed the world what Indian spin bowling skill was all about. The great Bishan Singh Bedi passed away earlier today at the age of 77 in his home in Delhi. He'd been keeping unwell, had undergone surgery as well a while ago, and Bishan Singh Bedi passed away. Zaheer Khan and Bhattacharjya have seen the great man from different lenses. Zach, great cricketer, but an even greater human being.
Yeah, legend of the game, very straight shooter, as Joyda would know it. Will not hold his opinion back for any reason whatsoever. Played his cricket very hard. He was a very hard taskmaster. Was very tough coach, but only meant well for each and every player and cricket. So he was someone who was a great ambassador of the game, a legend of cricket, going to be greatly and dearly missed. He shares his birthday with my dad, by the way. So, I always had that very special equation. His son, Angad Bedi, is a very good friend of ours. So, we would always keep track of what's happening in his life, how things are. Through Angad and through just chatting at times. Spend a lot of time at home also. I remember when I was playing for Worcester. He was there at Vikram's house, taking some cricketers there to give them some exposure in English conditions. So I happened to spend a nice evening with him. It was a great laugh. He would always enjoy his drink, and then the conversations will always flow. So yeah, great memories. He was a great motivator, great encouragement I've received from him, because that time I was not part of the team. And he asked me, "Oh, why are you dropped? What's happening?" And I mentioned to him the reasons and all that. He's like, "Oh, these are not the reasons that you should be not in the team." And I was performing decently well at Worcester. So those word of encouragement always go a long way. But heart of gold, straight shooter, and how he would not hold his opinions back is something each and every individual will remember him by.
266 test wickets in 67. Very sociable, a great raconteur as well, Joy. And he seemed to, for him, from the outside, it seemed like for him, what was key was to protect the integrity of the sport. Cricket was at the heart of everything he did in life.
Yeah, but also I've watched him bowl. Wow. I watched him bowl at the Eden Gardens in 1976, and on a flat pitch, he took 5 wickets. 60 overs, he bowled 25 maidens. 25 maiden overs, took 5 wickets. And just that, he was one of the finest exponents of that art of bowling. So he'd like to get wickets. His favorite wickets were getting the batsman stumped. Or you could never read his length, You always reached and you felt you didn't reach the ball. And that was his mastery. We talk about 266 wickets. He is actually the most prolific Indian spinner ever, because for Northamptonshire, he was one of the first Indian players to play county. So for Northamptonshire, he played a lot of cricket. And Northants, his total number of wickets he's taken in his career is 1560. Wow. 1,560 first-class wickets. I mean, that is something that will tell you of the quality of player he was. And he was a phenomenon. In fact, Wisden did a set of series of players who did not get Wisden Cricketer of the Year and felt that they should have got, because in any one year they were not honoured. And Bishan Singh Bedi was one of them. He was absolutely fantastic. He was amazing. Of course, we remember him as one of those 4, the great quartet of Indian spinners. But his simplicity of action, the way he would bowl, and he averaged, about 4.5, 5 wickets a match. He also averaged about 16 overs a test match, 16 maidens a test match. Wow. It was so difficult to get him away.
He was always happy in the company of other cricket people, and so many reactions came in as soon as the news broke. Some of the biggest names in cricket reacted to the passing away of the great man. The first one from the BCCI as well, mourning the sad demise of former India Test captain Harsha Bhogle, called him a genuine cricket great. And of course, we'll miss his laughter as well. Ashwin, who I'm sure was influenced by the great man, reacted as well. Then there was Dinesh Karthik, deeply saddened to hear about the loss of the great man, talking about his contributions to Indian cricket. Shah Rukh Khan, not from cricket, but someone who was hugely impressed, influenced by what the great man did. Harbhajan Singh reacting as well for a man he referred to as Bishan Paji. Mohammad Siraj expressing his condolences with that tweet. And then there was Cheteshwar Pujara as well. Heartfelt condolences to him and his family. The Sardar of spin said Mithali Raj. Joy, that era of 70s is unimaginable without Bishan Singh Bedi, who was the youngest in that quartet, with Erapalli Prasanna, B.S. Chandrasekhar and S. Venkat Raghavan.
Yeah, and that is a time when there's so many times Sunil Gavaskar has been tossed the no ball, new ball, quickly bowled 3-4 overs after that. Already 4th over, 5th over, 6th over, you already see the spinners beginning to warm up because that was the Indian attack. But at its best, it was something else because the 4 of them were very diverse skills.
Yeah.
And, if you look at the quality of this thing, that 67 tests, 10 ODIs, he led India that first World Cup in East Africa. He's got 12 overs. He just gave us 6 runs and took a wicket. 22 tests, led them to victory on 6 occasions. Again, brilliant series against Australia. I remember in 77, 78. 76, beating the West Indies at home. That century, Gavaskar and Vishwanath both got century. Amazing this thing. Highest wicket taker at the time he retired, 1560 wickets. That was what I was talking about. He's highest wicket taker in first class cricket. Of course, he got the Padma Shri. But very brave man. When he was the one person who called out the West Indians and said that this bowling is intimidatory bowling, I'm not going to play out here. In Pakistan, we were playing and one-day international, Sarfraz kept bowling bouncers. The umpire refused to call them. Bishan took his team off the ground. That's one side. The other side, Bishan Singh Bedi has gone on a tour of Pakistan with a private side, touring side. Found out from the newspapers that a girl was suffering from a rare disease and needed blood, a very rare variety of blood, which was also Bishan's blood group. He went to the hospital that day, gave blood and came back. And therefore, he is loved even in countries against which he's taken a lot of wickets. He's loved. Big, big heart. That's what you'll remember of him.
His laughter, his smile, his stories will forever be remembered, and he leaves an indelible imprint on all those that he met and on Indian cricket as well. Pakistan have done the job with the bat. Now they have to do the job with the ball as well. Afghanistan have 280 plus to chase. We've got to talk about Rahmanullah Gurbaz, Zach. Now, he's someone who's been one of the few bright spots with the bat for Afghanistan. Batting second, as we all know by now, we've discussed it threadbare. He's a different guy when he bats first. But here's an opportunity for him to show the world that he can bat second and do as well as he does in the first innings.
Yeah, he's got to be out there not thinking about how many he's chasing. I think it's just about looking at what's ahead. The battle ahead is going to be Shaheen Shah Afridi and Haris Rauf and how he's going to tackle them and how positive he's going to be there in the first 5-6 overs. I think that's going to be the game because when you're looking at this kind of a total, you don't want to give that momentum to Pakistan bowling lineup. And when you're looking at this Afghanistan batting lineup, it's heavily dependent on that top order. You need that start. You've seen what he has done with the England bowling lineup, and I think you'll have to repeat it. It's not about batting first or second. Those are just the numbers. Numbers happen as you go on, as you play more. So here's an opportunity for Gurbaz to give that start to Afghanistan to have a shot at this target.
Yes, Afghanistan have shown some sparks with the bat, but they need an explosion. And so important, Joy, for Rahmanullah Gurbaz and Ibrahim Zadran to at least stay there and build that foundation, which may perhaps help them in the middle overs and later.
No, absolutely. They've seen the pitch now. They've seen the pitch. They've seen that's going to come. So the important thing for them is to really score fast in the first 10. If they do not get runs, 70, 80 runs in the first 10, they'll be under a lot of pressure. Now, you're going to say that Pakistan got 56, but Pakistan was batting first. When you're chasing, you always need to be ahead of the game, especially on a pitch like this.
Let's pull up that Afghanistan batting lineup to figure if they can change something, because Ali Khil, that young man who's fast building a reputation, has broken onto the scene. Zach, is there a case for him to bat higher up, or do you stay with the same plan because Rahmat Shah hasn't been among the runs? Shahidi at 4, Nabi at 5. Are you okay with Ali Khil at 6, or do they change things?
I think they'll stick to the same batting lineup. I don't think they will be looking to tinker too much with that. It's just about settling. Rahmat also has got this another opportunity to score runs, and he's looking like a compact player. It's just about getting that start. This is the game where you've seen maybe in the evening a little bit of help to the seamers that you've seen consistently here. So that one challenge you will be facing with. Intent is something you want to see. And making use of that new ball and getting those runs is going to be very vital because the game is going to slow down in the middle overs.
Yeah.
In fact, the one thing I want to say is that, and the middle overs actually has been Pakistan's weakest point.
Yep.
So of all teams, they have given away an economy rate of just 6.3. They've given away 6.3 runs per over in the middle overs. Shaheen has gone for 6.45. Harris has gone for over 7.05. Hassan for 7. Shadab for 6.55. Ifti is the easiest with 4.15, but he's the sixth bowler and he wouldn't come in that often. Nawaz has gone for 5.71. Mir has gone for 8.38. So they haven't been able to restrict players. The place where Afghanistan restricted players, they haven't been able to restrict so far. Today, they will be aware of this. If we are reading this data, you'll be sure that the Pakistan team's analysts have seen it.
Yep.
And they have to say, we've got to make a better effort in that 11 to 40.
Yeah, maybe what the batters have done will rub off on their bowlers as well. 283 to chase for Afghanistan. Cricbuzz and Ibrahim Zadran will be out there in just a bit. Quick prediction, 10 over score.
10 overs, 65.
I think they need to go fast, but they might lose wickets. 50.
I'm going to say 40 for 3. Shaheen Afridi picked up 5 wickets in Bengaluru. He will run in really hard because they know Pakistan need this win to consolidate their position on their points table. That's it for now. We'll see you on Cricbuzz Combox after 15 overs. Bye for now.